If you want the latest in weather conditions, be sure to tune in to our Busy Bee Plumbing Weather Report each weekday on Mornings on Main Street. Brought to you, of course, by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning. We will keep you updated on the latest conditions outside, like severe weather, heat, snow, rain, and even hail.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather on Main Street.
Good Thursday morning, Taylor Plott here with a quick check on your forecast. Starting off for Thursday with some clouds, maybe some showers around. But once we get into your afternoon and evening hours, pop-up showers and storms are anticipated, with temperatures getting up to that 90-degree mark once again. Your evening forecast for your Thursday, still staying warm to hot out there. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s with still a lingering shower or storm possible. And once we get into Friday, we do it all over again with scattered showers and storms during the afternoon and evening. 7-day forecast looks like this. Will continue to warm up into the lower and mid 90s by the time we get into next week. 93 degrees expected on Tuesday and Wednesday with lower rain chances.
Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. I'm your host, Stephanie Miller. If you are looking to help out with the Texas flood relief, you can do that. What you're seeing on your screen is from YAPAC Outreach based out of Clarksville. They also have a location in Texas. Here are the items they say are needed right now. New clothing, shoes, heavy-duty shovels, rakes, and debris removal bags. You also see here pocket or utility knives, batteries, gas cans, cleaning supplies, first aid supplies. You can find this list by going to yapac.org/give. You can also find this on YAPAC social media pages. Again, if you would like to help, this is one way that you can. I really am so happy that you stopped by our show today, and I say that because we're back here at Impact Martial Arts and Self-Defense Academy. Today, one of the owners is going to talk with us about some self-defense moves. Righteous Stevenson is going to be with us when we come back here to Mornings on Main Street to walk us through a few defense moves that could be helpful, and also shares with us why we may want to take part in a self-defense class. But first, let's get a check of our headlines. The Giles County Budget Committee has recommended changes to the proposed 2025-26 budget. Changes include reducing the tax rate increase by almost 12%. The revisions to the proposed budget will need to be publicized and a public hearing date set before the full commission can meet to approve it. A total of $7.5 million in funding has been allocated to help the United Way of Greater Nashville support 184 agencies, including 40 newly funded partners. The funding will help strengthen programs focused on education, economic mobility, health and basic needs, and ensuring vital resources reach individuals and families across Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Houston, Montgomery, Robertson, Stewart, and Williamson counties. Congratulations, Dr. Scott Johnson. Dr. Johnson was awarded the 2025 Tennessee History Teacher of the Year Award at the high school level by the Tennessee Historical Society and National History Day. Dr. Johnson taught history at Spring Hill High School during the 2024-25 school year. Each nominee demonstrates a commitment to engaging students in historical learning through the innovative use of primary sources, implementation of active learning strategies to foster historical thinking skills, and participation in the National History Day contest. For these stories and so many others from our Middle Tennessee communities, head over to mainstreetmediatn.com.
Deep in a forest at Nashville Zoo, new creatures here for you to view. phantoms graced in black and white swing high in trees of dappled light. In rocky crags, tall and steep, small antelopes with nimble feet. A wise old man with beard of white, a sentry perched on stony height. Amidst it all, a hunter lies, with coat of gold and steely eyes. A new adventure just for you. Leopard Forest at Nashville Zoo. Open now.
Busy bee, yeah, busy bee. If you need
Hold on, y'all, hold on. I need to make a call. Hey, this is Brianna with Busy Bee. I'm giving you a call to let you know your technician is on his way.
833.
Busy bee. Guys, not yet. Not yet.
Busy bee, oh,
Now
busy
ready,
bee.
guys.
Call 775-7833.
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. So yesterday you learned about Impact Martial Arts and Self-Defense Academy. Well, today we're going to go over some of the moves and really talk on and touch on how important self-defense can be for all of us. To help us with that, we have Righteous Stevenson with us once again, one of the owners here at Impact Martial Arts. First off, thank you for your time again.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So how important is self-defense? Like when you have people come in, I mean, what do you stress to them when it comes to the knowledge of moves to help protect oneself?
Like one thing we talk about in the beginning of our class, especially when students are coming in for the first time, is the level of confidence that is required in the mental aspects of self-defense. A lot of times they get out here and they see the moves, they go, hey, I don't know if I can do that. One of the main things we cultivate is that mindset of where if I get attacked, that it's a term of give more than you take. Where if you attack me, it's not going to be a free lunch. You better pack your lunch and be ready to fight, kind of from there.
Gotcha. Okay, and then so what's the first few moves that you discuss when people come in?
First thing we deal with is our fighting stance.
Okay.
So predominantly, I call that your armor, is where everything is based upon. If your armor is compromised or your fighting stance isn't set, you can't move, you can't punch, you can't kick, you can't be ready for the most part to defend yourself in general.
So again, like I said yesterday, we learned about the business here at Impact Martial Arts, and you got to see some of the participants here in class. You got to hear from them and why they're taking classes here. So today, we're really going to go through the moves, and you're going to instruct me and share with all of us some of the moves that people would be learning in a self-defense class.
Right, awesome.
Okay.
All right, so first thing we're gonna do is our fighting stance. So I want my left foot out, kind of facing my target, my back foot to be out, and then I want my legs to be bent. We call these loaded legs. First thing that comes to mind as I think about is the old fighting games I grew up as a kid, Mortal Kombat, how they're in that stance and they're kind of ready and fighting from there.
Okay.
From here, I want my shoulders slightly bladed, then want my hands up out in front of my face.
What is bladed?
So like here, my shoulders are square facing my opponent. When I blade, I'm gonna take my right shoulder and pull it back a little bit of an angle, just like that there. Then my hands are gonna be up in front of my face, elbows are in tight.
Okay.
So what this does is give me the ability, if something is coming in my direction, whether it's a punch, whether it's a stick, doesn't matter, any object, I can get my hands up and start protecting my face. And then with this stance, I can now move forward, I can move backwards, and I can get ready to start defending myself from there.
Got it. Okay. And then after that?
All right, so from here, we're gonna start with just some basic strikes, and then I'm gonna get into what we call keeping distance 4.
Okay.
So from here, when I start off, and this comes to the concept of if you cannot fight, you cannot defend yourself. Like life isn't like the movies where it's, one easy button, you hit this pressure point, push this, push that, and they just fall. That's not real.
If only it was that easy.
If only. So from here, I'm gonna keep my left arm low. I'm gonna make this tight fist, and I'll bring my arm straight out, keep my elbow low, and then twist at the end, leaning forward, pushing that shoulder all the way forward, and then coming right back in nice and tight.
Okay.
So what this does, one, I'm allowed to strike from my left side, and also this works on keeping good distance between me and my attacker. Something we talk about in class a lot is pushing this shoulder all the way out. So let me show you something here. So keep your shoulder square.
Okay.
And then just hold your arm out here. Good. Now, see how far you can reach? Now, push your left shoulder forward. Those 4 or 5 inches is usually extended. It could be the difference between you actually hitting the person that's attacking you and not being hit by them. So we call that range and reaching for that strike, nice and strong.
Range and reaching, okay.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna throw a couple of these, and then we're gonna get into our keeping distance 4. So we're gonna work this pretty simple on my count. We're gonna take the left hand, fist nice and tight, elbow low, out, twist, boom, and then back in nice and tight. All right, here we go. And 1, good, 2, good, 3, 4, and 5. Boom, good, nice. So now I'm just add one more punch behind this. This is our normal jab cross. And when it comes to self-defense, the goal is to simplify the self-defense so you don't have a bunch of things to think about. Okay. So this is just your basic 1-2, your basic jab cross. So from here, just same thing. I'm gonna throw the left arm out, leaning forward. Now, I'm gonna take my right shoulder, same thing, push that right hand forward, push that left shoulder back, and then pivot that right foot on the ball of that foot. Boom, just like that, and then all the way back. Now, with that back foot, like even in our Karate Kids program, we call this squishing the bug. So from here, same thing like the left jab.
I'm just kidding. Unless it's an attacker.
Right. So same thing here, as you see your reach. Now take your right foot and just pivot that right foot, push all the way forward. Same
Gives
concept.
you a little more.
Same concept. And again, when it comes to self-defense and fighting, it's a game of inches. So any advantage that I can give you to be able to defend yourself and get home safe, that's the goal. All right, so we're gonna throw this quick jab cross to this 1-2. Okay. Nice and slow, and 1, right hand 2. Boom, good, bring it back. 1 and 2. Good, and 1, 2. Boom, just like that, easy peasy.
So you work with local law enforcement here
Yes.
in the Gallatin area. A lot of times there's no way to prep and set up and hit. Like, what are some tips that you offer to people who may find themselves in a situation that they don't want to be in?
Very good. So one thing we talk about a lot is situational awareness. And sometimes what happens over time with training, your body gets into these rhythms or patterns and do things almost instinctually. So think about whenever you're in an altercation, you feel uneasy. Generally, your hands will start to come up and kind of get to your face. So similar to that fighting sense, what I tell like our students versus our women, when they feel uneasy, natural actions, your hands start coming up, you start kind of clutching, protecting yourself. It's starting getting those hands up here, and then very quickly I can slide that right foot back. And we're right back where. There you go.
Right where you need to be.
Right back where we started with just few subtle movements. And the average person that's going to attack it, they're not going to know that this may seem weak and feeble, but in a split second, I can turn and be able to strike from that position there as well.
Is there a mental state that you need to be in? Because again, in that moment, first word that comes to mind is fear. You're in fear, you're terrified.
Right.
All you have to, I guess, to remember is to fight.
Yes. In a perfect world, trying to be in a state of forever readiness, it's not realistic. Like, I have family and I have quite a few kids. So I think about the average person that's at the stores out and about with kids, you know, the hums and bums of the week. So cell phone in the hand, you got your list, you got kids getting into the car. You're not thinking of, hey, being aware of your surroundings and things of that nature from there. But that's where training comes into place. So over training, what happens is we put our students in, we try to inoculate a high stress drilling situation so that their first time being in that stressful situation isn't out there, it's in here. Right. In this controlled environment where you're able to get some of those jitters out and then build from there.
Okay, now, Righteous, so say they're not taking class, they're seeing this for the first time, really getting that thought, well, maybe I should. What's something that would help them now if something like this happened tomorrow?
So first thing we talk about is situational awareness. Is wherever you are, be aware of your surroundings. Sometimes it's like that gut feeling. You go somewhere and you kind of feel uneasy, something's off. Start looking at your surroundings. And a lot of times when it comes, you got to understand, when it comes to self-defense, you're behind the 8 ball already. If the attacker, the bad guy, wants to harm you or harm someone, he already has a plan in his head of what he's going to do. And then from the moment of that interaction, you're playing catch up from there. So be looking at your surroundings. Like my family comes from the military, so I was always taught things of back into your parking spaces backwards. When you go into restaurants, don't sit with your back to the door. So it's almost instinctual for me kind of at this point. And especially when I'm with my family, I'm always looking around and seeing what thing doesn't fit.
Okay.
And it seems like it's something that you have to look at everything, but the things that don't fit stand out and they're glaring. Okay. But normally what happens is our instincts will talk us out of it. Go, something's off. No, that's just me. I didn't have too much coffee this morning. In all actuality, that could be very thing that the distance between you actually realizing the threat beforehand or immediately paying catch up.
Trust your gut.
Yes, absolutely.
What can parents advise their children?
So similar concept, even kids to a certain degree, they have this kind of similar gut instinct, but it's lessened to a certain degree. So I encourage parents to have that conversation with the kids beforehand. Don't talk to strangers, stay close to mom and dad when you're out and about. Don't run, 2 hours over because you want to get to your favorite cereal. Even little things like that, having that conversation early rather than later can go a long way.
Thank you so much for all of this information. And if you're in the Gallatin area, you do have Impact Martial Arts and Self-Defense Academy here for you. So if you have any questions, they've encouraged you to reach out to them. Am I correct in that?
Absolutely.
We said that yesterday, so I hope I'm not wrong in saying that again today. And if you're not in this area, do reach out to maybe an academy there in your area or a location offering self-defense classes, because it is most definitely worth taking one or two. Thank you so much, Righteous, for sharing this with all of us. We appreciate that. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Being in Tennessee, we wanted to try to keep it as local as possible, so we have an entire section of our menu that is just dedicated to local whiskeys like Uncle Nearest, Jack Daniels, of course, George Dickel, Nelson Brothers, Greenbrier whiskey, and all of our taps are all local. From 2 o'clock until midnight, we've got food every day for you guys. A good handful of appetizers, some entrees, and a couple salads and things like that. My name is Ethan Kanata. Please come down and see us at the Pick Lobby Bar here at the Omni in Nashville.
There's a line that links us all. Most of the time, we don't even think about it. But it's everywhere. Illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart, we believe in the power of good energy. And as your family and region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Let me stress again that you can look in your area to see what's provided as far as a self-defense class. Either your local law enforcement could help with that, or one of the studios, the martial arts studios in your area, may be able to provide direction to you where you live. As always, thanks for joining us here at Mornings on Main Street. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.
Hey, let's go Strokes.
People are amazed at the variety and quality of guests we bring into Main Street Sports today. But when you've been in this business for nearly 40 years and you never throw away a phone number, it's pretty easy. Right, Wade?
Absolutely. And Wynn agrees with me. Check out some of our guests featured on Main Street Sports today.
Step back and catch my breath. But I expect nothing less from you, big boy. Let's get going.
We make it work pretty good. So
the fans are tremendous. It's fantastic.
It was really amazing.
Yeah.
From preps to pros, you never know who's going to stop by, so be sure to listen to and watch Main Street Sports today from 2 to 4 p.m. daily on the MSM TV app.